Let's start with who Matthew was. Matthew Johnson, 51 years old, was not just any guy. He was a Green Beret, a member of the Utah National Guard's 19th Special Forces Group. His fellow soldiers described him as brilliant, reliable, the kind of person you'd go to when you needed answers, someone you could always count on. His friend Kevin Thompson, a retired National Guardsman, said Matthew had recently come to a decision. He was done. He wanted out of the marriage. He wanted to move on with his life. He never got the chance. Now let's talk about Jennifer. Jennifer Gladhill, 42, was seen by most people as the quiet, homebody type. A supportive military wife. A caring mom. That was the image she projected. But Jennifer had a secret. She was having an affair. And not just a casual thing either. This was an intense relationship. One that had completely taken over her world. Meanwhile, the marriage had been in freefall since at least July 2024. The couple was considering divorce. Things had gotten so bad that Matthew was literally sleeping at the National Guard facility because he was concerned about his own safety at home. Let that sink in for a second. A Green Beret, a man trained to operate in some of the most dangerous conditions on the planet, didn't feel safe sleeping in his own house. Then things took a really dark turn. In August 2024, Jennifer filed for a protective order against Matthew. She claimed she needed protection from him. But when the case went before the court, the judge actually looked at the evidence she submitted, the videos, the text messages, and made a ruling that nobody expected. Commissioner Russell Minus said that the videos Jennifer presented actually showed her being equally confrontational. And those text messages? He described them as repeatedly berating, belittling, and demeaning toward Matthew, almost like she was trying to provoke a violent reaction from him. On September 16, 2024, just days before everything went wrong, the protective order was dismissed. The commissioner wrote something that, looking back, feels almost prophetic. He basically said this marriage was deeply dysfunctional and that divorce should have happened a long time ago. What he didn't know was that Jennifer had already decided divorce wasn't going to be necessary. September 19, 2024. 2 days before the murder, Jennifer did something strange. She showed her lover a loaded gun, a Glock 19X that she kept in the house. At the time, he probably didn't think much of it. Military family, firearms in the home. Not unusual, right? But prosecutors would later reveal that Jennifer had already been planning. She had arranged for their 3 kids, ages 11, 7, and 5, to stay at her parents' house. The stage was being set. September 20th, 2024. That evening, everything exploded. Matthew had found out about the affair, and he confronted Jennifer about it. Witnesses reported hearing a heated argument between the couple that night. According to Jennifer's own later confession, Matthew was yelling at her because he knew she'd been sleeping with someone else. Years of tension, years of a broken marriage, all of it coming out at once. And then the house went quiet. In the early hours of September 21st, 2024, while Matthew lay sleeping in their master bedroom, Jennifer took his own 9mm handgun and shot him in the head. He never saw it coming. He was completely defenseless, completely unaware. What happened next is honestly hard to even describe. According to her own confession, Jennifer put Matthew's body into a rooftop storage container, slid it down the stairs, and loaded it into the back of their minivan. She smashed his phone. She drove his truck to a nearby neighborhood and abandoned it a few blocks away. Then she drove north with her husband's body and buried him in a shallow grave somewhere in northern Utah. When she got back home, she went into full cleanup mode. She bleached the walls. She used carpet cleaning supplies throughout the master bedroom, and she ordered a brand new mattress to replace the one soaked in her husband's blood. The mattress arrived 2 days later. But here's where Jennifer made her fatal mistake. On September 22nd, just before midnight, she showed up at her lover's door, and she told him everything. Every single thing. She told him she killed Matthew. She told him how she disposed of the body. She told him about cleaning up the evidence. And when he noticed bruises on her body and asked about them, she casually told him she got them while burying her husband. Casually. Her lover was absolutely terrified. This woman he thought he knew had just confessed to cold-blooded murder like she was telling him about her weekend. So he decided to start recording their conversations. And what she said on those recordings. I'm not exaggerating when I say this is chilling. When he told her he was frightened by what she'd done, she said, and I quote, "Wow, if you think I could even hurt a fly, like he's not a person. He wasn't a person anymore. He wasn't Matt. She had completely dehumanized him, the father of her children, a man who had served his country for over a decade." She also said, and this part really got me, "I always preached that I was like the Queen of Hearts in my past lives because I'm like, off with their heads." She asked her lover not to think of her as a monster. She wanted him to remember who she was before she opened her mouth. The irony is almost too much. 6 days after confessing to her lover, Jennifer finally called the police. She told them Matthew had said he'd be gone for a week and asked her not to call him. Meanwhile, the Utah National Guard had already started searching for Matthew because he'd failed to report for duty on September 23rd. And her lover? He'd been quietly collecting evidence this whole time. Screenshots of texts, recorded phone calls. On October 2nd, 2024, he went to the police. When investigators executed a search warrant on the house, what they found confirmed everything. A large blood-stained spot in the carpet under the bed. Blood on the bed frame slats. Reddish-brown spots on the walls and the blinds. The entire house reeked of bleach. And in the master bedroom, a brand new mattress. GPS data from Jennifer's phone showed her movements that morning, traveling to where Matthew's truck was found around 6 a.m., then heading north toward Davis County, exactly where she said she buried him. On October 2nd, 2024, Jennifer Gladhill was arrested for first-degree murder and obstruction of justice. But it didn't stop there. On October 24th, Jennifer's own parents, Thomas, 71, and Rosalie, 67, were also arrested. Police found they had spent over 5 hours at Jennifer's house in late September, despite initially claiming they were only there for less than an hour. Rosalie had purchased the new mattress. Her phone had been remotely wiped, erasing all data about her whereabouts. And Thomas? When police asked him about the master bedroom, he said, "I did not go in where the incident happened. Nobody told him there was an incident. He just said it." During the search of their home, police found a Glock 19X gun box wrapped in a child's onesie, stuffed inside a plastic tote. It matched the exact gun Jennifer had shown her lover days before the murder. The whole family had been trying to cover this up. Here's the part that haunts me most. Matthew Johnson's body has still not been found. Over 70 searchers, law enforcement, volunteers, and Matthew's fellow Green Berets have been combing through multiple counties in northern Utah for months. His friend John Hash, who served alongside him for 12 years, said having Jennifer in his home, breaking bread with her, and then finding out she was responsible for Matthew's death was just shocking. There's no other word for it. A vehicle storage container was found floating in water with Matthew's blood inside. But Matthew himself? Still missing. Somewhere in northern Utah, a devoted father and soldier is lying in an unmarked grave. As for Jennifer, she's pleaded not guilty to all charges. She's facing first-degree murder, 5 counts of obstruction of justice, tampering with a witness, abuse of a human body, and more. She's been denied bail because prosecutors argued, and the judge agreed, that she was a danger to the community. Her trial is set for December 8, 2025, and Matthew's $500,000 life insurance policy, with Jennifer listed as the beneficiary, the insurance company has asked the court to step in and figure out what happens to it. 3 children lost everything that night. They lost their father to murder, and their mother to a prison cell. Matthew Johnson's family has one simple request. They just want to bring him home. They want to know where he is so they can lay him to rest properly. If Jennifer Gladhill or anyone who knows the truth is listening, his family deserves that much. That's the case of Matthew Johnson and Jennifer Gladhill. And if this story taught me anything, it's that the people we think we know can be hiding something we'd never imagine. If you want to see more cases like this one, make sure you're subscribed. And I'll see you in the next one.